You want to know my powers? Know who I am? See what I can do. I'll show you.
Hello, old friend.
I tried your way, Charles. I tried to be like them. But it always ends the same way. Think of the person you love most in your life. Your wife, mother, daughter. They took everything away from me. Oh, my baby. Now, we'll take everything from them. You want society to accept you, but you can't even accept yourself. Perfection. Jean killed her.
Henryk, proszę cię, nie rób tego!
My name isn't Henrik. My name is Magneto.
There's so much more to you than you know. Not just pain and anger. It's good, too. I felt it.
I buried it with my family.
Killing Shaw will not bring you peace.
Peace was never an option. You built these weapons to destroy us because we are different.
Огонь!
Humanity has always feared that which is different. Well, I'm here to tell you, to tell the world, we are the future. No more hiding. No more suffering. You have lived in the shadows and shame for too long. Come out. Join me. Fight together in a brotherhood of our kind. Everything they've built will fall!
I know you think you've lost everything, but you haven't. You have more family than you know.
All those years wasted fighting each other, Charles. To have a precious few of them back.
Goodbye, old friend. Good luck, Professor.
What's going on, beautiful people of YouTube? Welcome back to Tully Television. I want to thank all of my returning viewers, newer viewers, and future viewers. Hello and how do you do? Today, we're going to be getting into a comic book review. And I think that this is one of the best limited series that have come out of the Fall of the House of X, a tie-in. So to speak. And yeah, a lot of these Fall of X and House of X stories have not been hitting the way I've been wanting them to hit, but this series is a fantastic series. It's over now, but we're going to be getting to issue 3, and then I'll do a review of issue 4 later today or tomorrow, depending on my time and energy level, so to speak. But this is the cover here. A very nice cover. You got the Shadow King there and Magneto trying to escape his grasps there. This was written, of course, by Al Ewing. Artist is Lucania Vecchio. Vecchio. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Colorist is Fici Joe Sabino. The cover is done by Stefano Quislia and Jesus Alberto, or Alberto, Aburtou, and yeah. So basically, we had Aurora having a vision from Magneto in the afterlife in order to come get him, basically, or that's what she thought. That was what he was summoning her for. She went to the Blue Marvel, Adam Brashear, because he is one of the smartest men on Earth behind Reed Richards and Doctor Doom. Him and Reed's daughter occasionally switch places for 3 and 4 spots, depending on where they want to put Tony Stark to. But he was able to basically facilitate her passage into the afterlife, or at least her spirit, her soul. And she came across Magneto and told him, you know, basically telling him like that she's there to help him reconcile a lot of these things that he's been feeling, because he's been lit in where he's been at. He's surrounded himself with walls and walls of names of people who he had Minecrafted over the years, or people who have been Minecrafted due to his actions, directly or indirectly, right? And as he's becoming older and more wiser in his years, he's realizing that all that anger and stuff isn't. It's good to have the anger maybe and be motivated by it, but his actions were not conducive to what the message of what he was trying to do, or say. And he was on the wrong side of the argument or maybe the right side of the argument, depends on how you feel about the X-Men and their place in the world, right? It's hard not to feel like you're better than when you can create weather from your fingertips, or move things with your mind, or control Mother Nature's greatest forces at just a whim. It's easy to be fearful of these type of people, but there's going to be good apples and bad apples in every race, creed, religion, gender, anything that you pick, any group that you pick. There's going to be bad apples and good apples in there, and our goal is to try to separate the bad apples away from the good apples, so the good apples can live in precious Granny Smith heaven. You know what I mean? But I'm going to run through the panels with you in a minute here. But basically, the Shadow King made them again face their greatest self-doubts in themselves. He mentions how Aurora feels like she's addicted to responsibility, that there's always something going on and she has to be there to solve it, or help solve it, or help prevent it, or be involved with getting rid of the problem. It's always on to the next thing, right? With her, and she never has any time to chill for herself, and that's a problem, because she's probably grown secretly frustrated over this, right? Why has it got to be me? Why has it got to be me? Why has it got to be me? And in real life, I call it the Captain America syndrome. Like when you pass something and you just can't pass it, you gotta help, you gotta do something. It's just ingrained in some people, no matter how much you try to tell them that they can be spread only so thin. They still carry guilt around with them for things that they weren't able to help or prevent, even. And they weren't even anywhere involved or near where they can help, even. But that guilt is still there. And Magneto is facing the fact in a world where if he's going to come back, he's going to have to reconcile the old Magneto that wanted humans enslaved He's going to have to reconcile the the Magneto following the dreams of Charles Xavier, Magneto, and even the Magneto of Mars and stuff. He's going to have to incorporate all these three main versions of Magneto and streamline them into one Magneto. And what's personality traits are going to come out the most because of this, right? How is this new Magneto going to affect the world around him? Because I tell you, at the end of this issue, he comes back for sure. But we have Magneto and Storm fighting. This is how the initial panel starts out with why did I say Rogue? Storm. But basically, at the end, here's Magneto talking to his old selves and telling him, his old self, maybe you weren't exactly 100% the solution, but there is a place for you somewhere, right? And here we go. Shadow King has told Storm that they've met many, many times before in different forms, different variations, because it all feeds off of he's feeding off of your fear, your anger, all these dark thoughts that form in your head is basically like the Shadow King, you know what I mean? He is the shadows, and anything that lurks around you is going to be part of his overall, maybe within the grasp of his control. But Storm and Magneto face him together, and it cost Storm her life. But before she can slip into her own afterlife, Magneto was able to resurrect her soul and be able to then, like you see Adam Bashir here, trying to jolt Storm back as Magneto's trying to jolt her back too at the same time. And finally Storm is able to recover, because don't forget that the Storm that was here helping Magneto is just an astral form of her. Her physical body was still with the Blue Marvel, so he could monitor her. And he was able to bring her physical body back along with Magneto helping her spiritual body. All right, and she was able to make it back alive. And this is when Magneto is able to come back into physical form into the land of the living. And that's where we leave this issue. I am Magneto. And he is Magneto. But like I said, what side of him is going to come out the most? The old, I'm mad at humans Magneto, the one that feels like there is a chance of living side by side with humans, or the third choice maybe is we can live with humans, but when I tell you to get off my lawn and you don't get off my lawn, well, I might just suck out all the iron out of your body, whatever he does. Things like that. I think that where he goes after issue 4, and where he winds up going, because he winds up showing up in issue of Iron Man to help him out against Orcus and them, because he gets told about what happened at the gala and stuff like that. But I'm kind of spoiling a little bit of issue 4, and I'll get more into that then. But I really like to see where his path leads. I wonder if he's going to be heavily involved in any of the upcoming X-Men books that are launching in June or July. Because then it's going to be curious on why they would bring him back. I mean, they're bringing him back because they're going to need a heavy hitter, and I know with some of the current things that are happening in comics in the last week or two, they might be setting a few things up, but then again, I'll get into that next review of this limited series issue 4. I want to thank you all for showing up and tuning in. Thank you so much. I hope that we've earned that subscription. If you have anything to add, you hit it down below. Let me know if I missed anything. But until next time, peace, Nookums.